Hello everyone and welcome back to Flosstube episode 4. For anybody who is new here, my name's Sam and this is a channel all about my cross stitch journey. For anybody that is returning, then thanks so much, I do really appreciate it. I've had so many lovely comments and I think I've had like 250 subscribers since my WIP parade, so thank you so much, it means a lot. So just a bit about what's been going on, I guess. Today is the 30th of January. It's quite late at night again, so I'm being a bit quiet. Just put the little one to bed. And it's been a bit of a strange week for me. My other half has had to work away, which he's not had to do since we first got together, and definitely not since Lizzie was born. So I thought it was going to be great. I was going to get all the stitching done and I was going to have all my evenings to myself, but it's been a nightmare. It just shows you how much I rely on him, and you can't even like have a shower in peace or go to the bathroom. It's yeah, it's been a challenge, and he's away again next week, but then that should be it. So I'm hoping after that my stitching can get up. But other than that, everybody is happy and healthy and I hope you're all the same. So my January stitching has now come to end. I achieved all my challenges. I'm doing WIP Go and the Magical Stitches Mystery Year, I think it's called. So I achieved all my goals that I set, and I've actually been keeping a log. I'm a spreadsheet kind of person, so I know a lot of you keep like your normal diaries of what your stitching is, but I do it on a spreadsheet and it accumulates how many stitches I've done. And throughout January so far I've done 24,974 stitches, which is massive. To say that I've not really been sort of stitching every single day and every spare minute. I've had quite a few days where I've just had an early night or we've done stuff as a family, and yeah, for me to achieve that I'm really happy. And it's made me sort of rethink my goals a bit. Sort of, you know, I thought it was going to be unachievable to get any of my full coverages finished this year, but actually I think I might be able to if I sort of put one as a focus piece. So yeah, that's made me really happy. I have, so at the end of my last video I did mention that I wanted to get into reading again, and that's taken up a little bit of my spare time. So I was watching the Honeybee Stitcher, and I'll put her name down in the description as well. She's a lady from Australia and she's got some nice sort of full coverage pieces, some gecko rouge kits as well, but she also does some Stampler styles and the fancy ladies. But she was sort of saying she got a Kindle for Christmas and she did some book recommendations, and I started watching the Zodiac Academy after I watched that, and I got so into it so quick. So I've almost finished the first one, and it's a series of books. So yeah, the days that I'm not stitching or I just want an early night, it's quite nice to get back into reading again, and I'm hoping I can keep that going because I forgot how much I enjoyed it. So that's been quite nice. Work's picking up again. January is our quiet time, so again it means less stitchy time, but at least everything, you know, work and family life is going well. So yeah, that's sort of everything that's been going on. I'll go into my WIPs. So the good thing about the challenges is I've been able to pick out some of my older WIPs that I've not worked on in a few months. So one of my challenges was stitch on the WIP that has got the most colours. So this was what I used for that challenge. Hopefully it's going to focus. And this is my only max colour piece, and this is from HAED. So I'll just show you the name because I can never say it. Just put that behind so you can see it. And this is by Melanie Dillon. And I think I started this sort of November time of last year. So we'll put up a picture of where it was last time you saw it. Hopefully, I need something to get behind, don't I? I forget this all the time. So here we go, this is where we are now. so you can't really see it, but there's quite a bit more of the white done here, and then I just carried on working through. I don't know how well you can see it, but there is a lot of confetti stitches, and all this white is ninja stitches, which I've just not filled in as yet. So where am I with that one? So I spent 1 day stitching on this, and I did 2,176 stitches, and this is on 28 count gridded, I think it's just the DMC fabric, and this is in 10 stitch. So this is now 6,470 stitches at 6.7%. That one's going really well. And I have to apologise, most of these are still in their hoops. I've not had a chance to take them out as yet. So my next one that I worked on, which was initially going to be a bit of a focus piece this year, I wanted to get it to 50%, but I just didn't really have time. This is Afternoon Tea. Again, it's another HAED, it's a mini by Randall Spangler. I always struggle to say that name, I don't know why. Again, this one's in the hoop. Whoops. So that's where we are. And I spent 1 day working on this. Got my notes. And I did 1,288 stitches, so I'm now on 7,506 stitches, which is 8.8%, and I did want to get this to 50% by the end of the year. And this is all just the background, and I'm starting to working on the spoon here, and then I think the dish comes in here, so I'm making progress getting out of this background part. I kind of wish that I'd done it without this frame, but yeah, I've started it now, so I'll have to carry on. I'm not frogging it all. So yeah, that one's going really well. Oh, and again, this is on 28 count. They're all the same pretty much, and doing it in 10 stitch with all the called for colours. Oh, one thing that I did get out to show you, which I've never shown you before, is I've been looking at sort of how I've been organising my floss, and I'll just show you. This is what my other half 3D printed me, and it holds so many threads, so you can do it on the inside ring and the outside, and I think he said these cost like 2p to print. It's getting a bit sort of scraggly now, but yeah, I thought that was pretty amazing. So he's made me a few of those while I'm just figuring out what sort of style works for me. So the next one I worked on, I'm a little bit disappointed because I wanted to get this finished by the end of January and I haven't. Sorry, I've not got a photo for you because that's just the pattern. So this is my Peter Pan by Soda Stitch, and hopefully I can put up where it was before. So done all the top border. I finished with Wendy and Peter and the back stitch, and then along here it's like the London skyline, and like the yellow windows along, which will look lovely, and then I've just got the border to finish, and then there's Captain Hook, Tinkerbell, and the crocodile down at the bottom. So I've still got quite a way to go. So I spent 2 days stitching on this, and I did 733 stitches, so it's now at 3,910 stitches, which is 56%, but that's not including any of the back stitch, which yeah, it is quite a back stitch heavy piece. So yeah, it does take me quite a while to do this one, but I'm really enjoying it. So this has actually come up on WIP Go for February, so it will definitely be a finish for then. And I'm just going to put that back in the bag because there's a needle poking out. So my next one again came up in the Magical Stitches challenge, and this was for my WIP that I'd done the most stitches in, and that is the Witching Hour, which is another HAED, and this is by Lisa Parker, again another mini, and I started this in October of last year. So again, this one's in the hoop, so I did quite a lot on this one. So I spent 2 days on this one, but I actually did 3,012 stitches. So this was mainly, I think I did 2,000 stitches on a late night when Lizzie had gone to bed at like 6 o'clock. So it's now at 20,289 stitches, and this is on 27%. I want this one to be at 50% by the time it gets to sort of July time. And I mainly started working up here, thought that I'd get this curtain done, but it was just so much 310 and I wasn't seeing much progress. So yeah, I decided to start working around here, and you can just see, well hopefully you can, this is the cat's ear coming in, and I started working down here hoping I was going to get the eye in, but Lizzie woke up so I had to call it a night. But I think that one's coming together really well. It's starting to look like it should, so yeah, I'm happy with that one as well. So that was all my sort of called for WIPs this month, so I'm just gonna have a quick drink. But I wanted to start all the things this month. I don't know what's been wrong. I said I was going to go on a spending ban for January, but yeah, I just wanted to start everything. So I've anticipated some starts that are going to come in February, but as I was starting to put those on Pattern Keeper, I actually found some patterns that I'd completely forgot about, and I think I actually bought these in the 4th of July sale that HAED had on last year, so that's how long I've had them. And I'll show you that to start off with while I'm explaining it. So I bought all the sort of Princess Story Keeps by Melanie Dellum, and I think there's about 6. So yeah, they're quite a bit smaller than the big ones. There's, I think, about 39,000 stitches in these, so nowhere near as big as the other ones. Just to give you an idea, the minis have around 80,000, and the full ones can have anywhere from sort of 150 up to, you know, 800,000. They're huge pieces, so these on that scale are quite a bit smaller. So my plan was a bit like the Soda Stitch ones, where I've got multiple patterns. I'm going to work on one, and when I finish, go on to the other one until I've got through all the patterns. I want to do the same with this. So I started this last weekend, and I've got quite a bit of progress done on this. Let me just put that behind again. So here we go. Started in the background and started getting a face in. I'm a couple of colours missing. I wanted to finish her face completely, so that's why it looks a bit patchy. I was sort of unsure of how much detail you were going to get in with it being so small, so I wanted to get the face done, and then I knew whether I were going to continue with it or not. But it's one of those, when you're really close it looks messy, but then yeah, from a distance it looks really, really nice. So yeah, I'm happy with that. So I spent 3 days on this one, and I did 3,453 stitches. So this is already at 9.1%. So 10% almost done after one weekend, which is awesome. And I did, something that I wanted to show you, I shared it on my Instagram, and I got so many likes from it. I decided to have a go at making my own floss drops. I saw them sort of on Etsy, and I think they were, I don't know, like some of them were like a $5 for 10, I think, just made out of cardboard. So I thought, oh, I'll have a go at making them myself. And I looked on Flosstube just to see if I could see a video, and the 911 stitcher, you should check her out. She's done tons of videos, different style to me. They're mainly like smaller pieces, more traditional, again a lot of samplers, and I think she's got a few videos of like just all of her Christmas pieces that she made as well, like her ornaments. She's got loads of videos, but she actually sells floss drops, and there was a tutorial on how to make them, and it was really good, really detailed, showed you all different materials. So I just had a scout around in the house to see what I had, and I had some really thick card, and she had like a gift tag hole punch. So I had a look on Amazon. She got hers from Michael's, which obviously we don't have here in the UK, but I found this, so this is kind of a part of my haul. And you just cut your card to whatever size you want, you put it in, and then just hole punch it, and it does the nice tag shape at the top and cuts a little hole. So that was, I want to say about £12. It wasn't too expensive. And then I got this sort of bigger hole punch again from Amazon, and I think that was about £3 or £4. That's just a 1/2 inch hole punch, so nothing too special that. I had some thick card at home, and I just found some sort of free images that I could use, and I printed some lovely floss drops. So I've got all different styles, a lot of them sort of flowery and pretty. I thought these ones were quite cool with the tropical lady. What else did we get? Oh, these ones are like horse ones, which was quite nice. Don't know if it's going to show up. Have I got any others? I think the others are just the same. But yeah, I did quite a few different designs. They're all kind of like the same floral animal kind of thing. And I really liked that. You can see all the colours together. And then I could just do the sort of one thread pull. And I found that a lot easier. The other thing I'm not sure of is how you don't get these messed up in your bag. So I've just been sort of twisting them around like this. But if anybody has another way of keeping them so they don't all get tangled up, do let me know. Because yeah, I think that is how I'm gonna kit up going forward, because I really enjoyed that. What I also thought was, because this is only, so it was measured up for 25, but I did it on 28, and I think the 25 count was 11 inch by 5, so it almost fits perfectly in the Q-snap that I've got, without having to move it. So I don't tend to work on Q-snaps, I prefer hoops, but with it being sort of the perfect size, I wanted to just leave it there rather than messing around with the fabric. It's actually quite a big piece, and what I hoped to do was just put sort of 2 or 3 on here, and then decide how I was gonna finish them afterwards. So what I wanted to do was make a bigger bag. Now, in my sort of rush, I didn't actually check whether I had all the materials or not, and the vinyl that I usually use is the Annie's vinyl, which Evelyn across the pond is the one that recommended that. She's really good at making her own bags, but I'd run out, and I had some cheaper vinyl and it didn't work. It just slipped straight through, so I had to change the design. I didn't have a pattern or anything, I made it up as I went, so it was a bit of a mess, but it's perfect for fitting the larger Q-snaps in. So this is what I made. Hopefully you can see that. So it's quite wide, and it's Harry Potter. So this is where the vinyl should have been, and then this is the back. All the Hedwigs and the Gryffindor, and then it's all lined as well. It's quite thick, which is good, and So yeah, it looks quite nice, not how I intended it, and to say that I did it without a pattern as well, I just kind of did the measurements as I went, it worked all right. And it's the first time I've done this sort of, I'll show you on the front, this sort of like quilting technique where you stitch down, and it looks really nice and it feels a lot sturdier, but my goodness, it took me literally all night, and I've never had to pull stitches out of a bag before, but I think three lots of time I had to pull the stitching out because it was so wonky and uneven. I need sort of like a guide or something to keep me on the straight and narrow, but it was something new and I quite enjoyed making it. So that's what my Pocahontas one's going to live in for now. So that was all the projects that I've worked on. I have got a little bit of haul, not too much. So I've shown you my floss drops bit. Oh, the needle minder that I'm using. This is new, so this little fox one. It's quite cute, really strong. This one is from S&K Beading on Etsy, and I thought the colours matched the pattern quite well. I couldn't find a Pocahontas one, and I considered sort of buying a badge and making one myself, but I thought by the time I'd done that I will have probably finished the project. So yeah, I just got that one to match. So I'm also joined up to a sort of fabric and floss club. She's here in the UK. She's called, let me find it, Coffee Craft Fabrics, and she's on Facebook. She does shop in she ships internationally, can't get my words out, but obviously you have to pay a little bit more for shipping. And she does hand-dyed Aida linens, and she's just started doing the floss as well. So from next month I'm getting linen, and from the month after I'm getting a piece of fabric and some hand-dyed floss sent through. So I've got my first one. So here we go. Ooh, lots of glare. Let me take it out and then you can have a look. Sorry about the crackling. So here we go. This is what she sent me. It's quite nice. Pinks and purples and sort of bits of grey in there as well. So I'm thinking I've either got a Pascal from Tangled. I've got a little pattern from Luna Fox Designs, I think it is, on Etsy, and we've got a chameleon called Pascal, so I've been wanting to do that one for quite a long time. So that one's going to go in there, or if not, I've got a little chip cut from Beauty and the Beast. I've got that pattern, so that one might go on there. So I'll decide what I want to do, and that one might be done for next time because they're both really small designs. So yeah, every time I get one of those I'll show you on this as well. The next thing that I did was I'm wanting to work on another pattern which is called Solstice from Unconventional Cross Stitch. I didn't get the cover photo out, which is a bit of a pain. Hang on one second, I will find that. So here we go, hopefully you can see this. There we go. And she is stunning. So for Christmas I did the Secret Santa on Unconventional Cross Stitch. It's quite a smallish company, I think based in Australia, but they've got a lot of unusual, obviously, and more like gothic styles, fantasy style of pieces. And I've been wanting to get one for a while, but just couldn't decide. And what you did for that was you paid the price for one pattern, which I think was like £9, and you put in your top 3 patterns that you designed, should I say, that you liked. So I put that in and a couple of others, and then on Christmas Eve you got it sent to you what your Secret Santa had chose, which was really nice, and I got to choose the pattern for another person. So it was kind of like a bit of a gift giving exercise, which I really enjoyed. So I decided I wanted to start that one in February at some point. So I've purchased all the flosses, but they've not arrived yet. So I think it's going to be my most colourful WIP. There's 154 colours in that one, and it's quite big. I said I weren't going to start any big ones again, but I have. So there's, I think, 490 stitches, 90,000 stitches, but let me just show you again. There's all this blue background, so it just takes a second. Do that. So all this blue background around here, I'm not stitching. So I wanted to find some fabric that would go onto. So one of my purchases was this fabric here. It looks quite grey on there. It's called Slate Blue. It looks quite blue in person. I couldn't find any 28 count that was in a colour that I liked, so I've ended up going for 32 count. So I'm hoping I can still do tent stitch on that. If not, I might have to do 1/1, but I'll do sort of a test patch in like a black or a dark blue before we begin, and then I'll decide which one I want to do. I put that on my Instagram page that I was going to be starting it, and I got quite a lot of reactions actually. There's one lady that is very active on Instagram, and she comments and likes all the time. She's really lovely. She's called Kaylee, and I'll put her Instagram tag down below. She's the owner of the Sewing Shop, which is a Canadian shop, but they do ship across the world. She makes sort of project bags, and she sells cross-stitch fabric and floss. She's expanding her shop all the time, so she's got quite a lot of things on there. And she said that she wanted to start this pattern as well, so she's going to be doing it with me. And then also Darren, the Dizzy Stitcher, I can't remember if he got gifted that pattern or whether he chose it, but he's not started it yet. So the three of us are going to do sort of a start along when we're all ready to go at some point in February, and we'll do sort of a stitch along tag for anybody else that wants to do that or anything similar, and then we can all sort of update each other on Instagram, which I think will be really nice because I've not done a stitch along yet. So I think it's going to be quite nice just to have that motivation to keep going, especially with it being a big piece, because my other ones I've abandoned so far. So I'm going to need all the help I can get with that one. So the other things that I purchased was some more kits from Gecko Rouge. Now they've not arrived as yet. One was, it's the autumn house. I've not got a picture to show you just yet, but obviously when it arrives I will. And that was one that Ryan chose off of my wish list. It's very different to anything that I've ever done before, but it's quite small, so it should be easily achieved. And the other one is the Gem Mystery Kit, which comes out I think February time. So every sort of a couple of months they will do a mystery kit, and you sometimes get a little bit of information, whether it be the designer or artist that it's created by, or you might get a colour theme and then you can decide whether you want to buy it or not. So I did the Halloween ones and I did the Christmas ones. I missed out the Valentine's Day one this year, just because I'm not a very lovey-dovey kind of person. But then when I saw this one, I thought I'd do it. So the colour, you just got a colour scheme for this one, so it's black and dark pink, and it should have been, so you get it reduced. I think it was $34.95 to buy, and it's not very big. I think it's about, I'm doing it on 28 count, so it's about 7 inches wide, so it's not a big stitch at all. But I think it will be released further into the year, but then it will be a little bit more expensive. You just get it at reduced price, like a pre-sale price. But I also had my £10 voucher from Christmas that they gifted us, and I also had my 10% off from being in the Gold Club. So it actually worked out to be just over £20, and because I was already buying something, I didn't really need to pay anything extra for shipping. So it's basically cost me £20, and what I thought was, if I don't like it, or it's not something that's my style, then I can always give it as a giveaway. But if I do like it, then, you know, it was £20 kit, so not bad at all. So hopefully that will be here soon. For anybody that wants to buy it, it's up on the website for sale until the 4th of February, and then after that they stop sale until it's released fully on the website. So I might do sort of like a bit of a kit opening. Hopefully I like it, otherwise, yeah, it might be a bit embarrassing. But yeah, that should be sort of in one of my February updates. So that was my other bit of purchase. And then I just bought sort of general, sort of topped up my floss and needles and things like that. So yeah, my buying ban is officially over. So one thing that I did want to tell you guys about, let me just have another drink. Oh, talking 10 miles an hour, my throat's so dry today. So on Instagram I saw a special offer come up. Now I have got the subscription to the Cross Stitcher magazine, which I think is £10 every 3 months, and you just get the magazines digitally. And there is some patterns that I do like in there and that I've saved to one side, but I still, if I see a magazine that's got a nice pattern in, I'll still go and buy it anyway from the shop. Not that I ever do them. But I saw on the World of Cross Stitch that they had an offer on. So if you bought 6 months worth of magazines, and the physical magazines, not the digital ones, which is £28, then you got 2 of the Emma Condon books free. And they're sort of the ones that are like the positive quotes, and they're about sort of looking after the planet and looking after one another and your loved ones. And there's some really, they're pretty much full coverage pieces, but yeah, they're all like motivational things on there. And I've been eyeing up some of her patterns for quite a long time, and I've got one of her Halloween ones set aside to start at some point this year as well. The books are about £25 for them both anyway on Amazon, so I decided to go ahead with that because the books were pretty much free, or the magazines, either way you put it. So yeah, if you wanted to look at that yourself, it's World of Cross Stitch. It was on their Instagram page. I think they've done like a paid advert, so yeah, check that out. It's only in the UK, I'm afraid. I did put it on the Emma Condon Facebook group, and I had so many people disappointed because yeah, it wasn't, I don't think it's even available in Ireland. It was literally just the UK. Well, I should say England. Yeah, it's not for anywhere else. It's just a special offer. But I thought that was really good value. So for anybody that might be interested. So that was my last purchase of January. So last thing that I just wanted to sort of say was, I've mentioned a couple of people that I've been watching. I've done a lot of watching a Flosstube. There's been a couple of programs that I've watched. Like I watched Wheel of Time, but I pretty much finished that over 2 evenings, and then I found that I didn't have anything else to watch again. So if you have got any recommendations on Netflix or Prime, please let me know, because yeah, when you're in the house on an evening on your own, it is boring. I need something to watch. But what I have been doing is just, yeah, I've gone down that Flosstube rabbit hole. So I've got a few people that I just wanted to mention. Firstly is Debbie at Creatively Yours. I've been watching the Stitch Cotillas for a long time. You know, since I started cross stitching really. They do a lot of full coverage pieces, especially the Rocking Stitcher. She's got some amazing pieces. So Debbie from Creatively Yours actually did a shout out for me last week, and I went totally fangirling and messaged her back immediately, said how grateful I was, and you know, shouted out to Ryan, oh my god, Debbie shouted me out on YouTube. So yeah, thank you to Debbie. You should check all of them out because they're amazing. There's a lot of heaven and earth patterns, but then they'll do some little pieces as well, and they've got a stitch along group as well. They do all different things on Instagram. So yeah, do check those out. They're great, lovely ladies, all of them. I think they're from the Netherlands, but yeah, they're great, really, really talented women. The next one that I've been watching is a UK cross stitcher, and it's Zoe at Coco Creates. She has a complete mixed bag of all different styles. She likes a lot of colourful pieces, but a lot of full cross pieces. And she's just done sort of a 3-parter kit parade as well, where she's got so much stuff. I think she's been stitching for a long time, and she's done a lot of giveaways as well. She's given loads of stuff away to people. So yeah, she's a really lovely lady. I actually found her in the Dizzy Stitcher group on Facebook, and sort of every time a video comes out, yeah, I really enjoy watching her, so you should check her out. She's got some beautiful cats as well that always make an appearance. And the last one that I wanted to mention was Megan at Stitching Moon. I think she's been doing Flosstube for around 6 months, I think. So I actually started hers from the beginning, and she's sort of fairly newish to getting back into cross stitch after a bit of a break. She was living in the US, but she's living in Norway now, I think with her husband and her child. And yeah, she started off sort of with some gift pieces that she wanted to do for family, and then all of a sudden within a few months her stash has grown. She's gone into full coverage, and yeah, her you know, her sort of style has changed and adapted, and it was quite nice to watch that journey. Really lovely lady, easy to watch, and yeah, nice and friendly. So I will put all the links for these guys that I've mentioned below, and I guess the only other thing sort of to say to everybody is, again, thank you for watching. I know they're really long videos. I don't know why I talk so much, but I really appreciate anybody that hangs around and stays till the end. Please do keep the comments coming. I've had so many sort of friendly notes, and then recommendations or tips for things. So yeah, I've really enjoyed that. It's literally like having friends to chat to, so that is really nice, having people that have got the same hobbies as you. So any thing that you would recommend, any websites to check out, any programs to watch while you're stitching, any new books, please just chuck it all at me, because I really like to get those messages. And hopefully next time I will have worked a little bit more, and I might even have a finish for you, hopefully. So that's all from me. I will see you again in a couple of weeks' time, mid-February, and I'll have an update for you there. If you want to check my Instagram out, I do tend to post on that every day or two. Whenever I've stitched something significant, I'll put a post on there anyway. So if you want to keep up to date with what I'm doing, you can check that out. And please, if you have enjoyed it, do press the like button, hit subscribe, and then you'll get notified when I put another video out. So I will see you all in a couple of weeks. Thanks for watching.